Good morning. I hope you all are good and safe. Today in this video we are going to learn poem of our English book The English Coach. The name of the poem is How Beautiful is the Rain. This poem is written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Henry Wadsworth was a very famous American poet who lived from 1807 to 1882. When Longfellow was 13 years old, he began to publish his own poems. Later on, when he finished school and college, he became a professor of modern languages at the age of 22. 7 years later, in 1836, he became a professor at Harvard. In 1854, Longfellow gave up his job and devoted all his time to writing poetry. He wrote so much poetry that a number of critics point out this led to a lowering of the general level of his work. This poem, How Beautiful is the Rain, shows Longfellow's great gift of being able to write melodious poetry. This poem is really a song of praise. It describes how the rain falls after a hot day in the summer and how various people welcome it. The poem is full of rhythm and beauty. How beautiful is the rain! How beautiful is the rain after the dust and heat. In the broad and fiery street, in the narrow lane, how beautiful is the rain! How it clatters along the roofs like the tramp of hooves. How it gushes and struggles out from the throat of the overflowing spout. Across the window pane it pours, and swift and wide, like a river down the gutter roars. The rain, the welcome rain. The ill man from his chamber looks at the twisted brooks. He can feel the cool breath of each little pool. His forward brain grows calm again, and he breathes a blessing on the rain. From the neighboring school come the boys with more than wonted noise and commotion, and down the wet streets sail their mimic fleets, till the treacherous pool engulfs them in its whirling and turbulent ocean. In the country on every side, where far and wide, like a leopard's tawny and spotted hide, stretches the plain to the dry grass and the drier again, how welcome is the rain! In the furrowed land, the toilsome and patient oxen stand, lifting the yoke and cumbered heat with their dilated nostrils spread. They silently inhale the clover-scented gale and the vapors that arise from the well-watered and smoking soil. For this rest in the furrow after toil, their large and lustrous eyes seem to thank the Lord more than man's spoken word. Near at hand, from under the sheltering trees, the farmer sees his pastures and his fields of grain as they bend their tops to the numberless beating drops of the incessant rain. He counts it as no sin that he sees therein only his own thrift and gain. Let us start the explanation of this poem. This poem is written by Longfellow on a rain in summer, where he is overjoyed by the shower in a hot day. He opens the poem by exclaiming, "How beautiful is the rain," which shows his happiness and excitement about rain. He is mesmerized by the rain washing off all the heat and dust from the narrow and broad lanes of the city, and he reiterates the statement, "How beautiful is the rain." In the next line, he speaks about how the drops of rain falling on the roofs are having a rhythmic appeal to it. He compares it with the hooves of the horses to give us an image of the rhythm and sound of the raindrops on the roof. In the last two lines, he writes how the rain falls from the sky as if it is freeing from the overflowing clouds in the sky. In second stanza, the poet describes how it looks like when the rain falls on the window pane, and how swift and wider the gutters look as they are full of rainwater and filled with mud. It looks like a river roaring down. He feels overjoyed about the rain and welcomes it with open arms. Now, in this stanza, Longfellow is talking about how people of all age groups enjoy rain in their own ways and how they are happy to see the rain. The man who is ill looks at the brooks and branches from his room and feels the cool of the rain. He can sense it from the side and grows calm and feels better. In these lines, the poet speaks of the small boys from the school who are overjoyed to see the rain and they run from their classes to the wet streets, making noises and screaming in excitement. They play in the rain and in the pool of water which is mixed with water, mud and dirt. But they don't care and fall into it. They make their own mimic fleets and they flow it there. In the lines, Longfellow speaks about how the heat of the summer had dried every kind of vegetation around. Now he is saying that the entire field resembles like a suitable place for the hideout of the leopards, as its yellow and spotted like its fur stretches all over the plains. And that parched bit of land is overjoyed too on the arrival of rain. Poet is now talking about the heat arising from the earth and how the earth smells as the drops of rain falls on it and cools down the hot soil. It cools and calms the entire environment around. The poet says that once it had started pouring, everyone seems to look towards the sky and silently thank God for showering His blessings on them. Near at hand, from under the sheltering trees, the farmer sees his pastures and his fields of grain as they bend their tops to the numberless beating drops of the incessant rain. In these lines, poet describes the joy of these farmers as when they see the rain falling from the sky and replenishing their crops and fields. They are satisfied to smell the aroma of rain as the pours from the sky. Poet says that the peasant doesn't see any kind of harm or sin in being satisfied that the rain has come only for his benefit. But it is poet's eye that could see everything, and that much more and far than this. He is capable of going through many imaginations and thoughts about the rain scattering from the clouds, like the peasants collect their grains from the field during the harvest period. The poet says that he could behold and enjoy the beauty of rain and unfold a lot of expressions and emotions about the rain. So this was all about the poem. Poetic devices that are used in this poem are repetition, personification, onomatopoeia, and simile. Thank you.